Dr. Nocturne are S-rank American yokai and are both fixtures of the Yokai Watch 3 meta. These two not only have a Hazard's ultimate, but a totally unique skill called Bad Medicine. The description in-game is, all yokai deal damage while inspirited. This might be one of the worst skill descriptions in the game. It doesn't explain shit. What does this even mean? Well, today we'll be doing a full breakdown of Bad Medicine, how it works, how to use it, and some weird properties of the skill. Let's get right into it. Bad Medicine's description is just a lie. What it actually does is turn all negative spirits into magic attacks with 50 base power and no element. This means they use the user's spirit stat and ignore defense. It's active as long as the doctor stays alive, so you can keep him in the sub the entire game and still have the skill at work. He's S rank, but this is a skill you're going to want to build around, so it's alright. So what kind of teams can you actually use Bad Medicine in? Well, there are three main archetypes using the skill. Teducator is the most common and strongest abuser of Bad Medicine. He's got pretty high spirit, decent speed, and a skill lets him inspirit 2 yokai at once. They realise this would be a stupid broken effect, so they made his inspirit accuracy really bad. However, this also made boosting inspirit accuracy super easy. Shady Unity is so easy to make with Teju. He and the 2 doctors are shady, so you already have 2, and from there you can use Yudo to double Teju's damage output, or one of the many viable shady tanks like Yusef Beyond Football and Retreater. Then you can really easily make a Mysterious Unity, as you already have Dumbcap. So you can use Unsheltered and Shulvulcan as your last 2 tanks, or even 2 House Paraday, as Teju and the Doctors are both American. Teju teams are so easy to build, and perform insanely well. It's really hard to win against for a lot of teams, but it is kind of easy to counter as well. Pandora and anything that counters column patterns like Santa the Bone, Shurikeni, and El Gutso are the best and most common. Edzoff is an S-rank shady physical attacker that hits Inspirited Yokai for boosted damage. I honestly don't think Bad Medicine works great with Edzoff, but you can definitely use it to great effect. The best way to use these two at the same time is to use a mixed attacker like Wrongneck, Crummy Mummy, or even Blazion holding a Doctor and Nocturne soul. The soul inspirits any yokai hit with a physical attack from the holder. This triggers Bad Medicine, and is the only reasonable way to use mixed attackers just because of how the battle system works. You can just use both stats at once. However, this really isn't the best way to use Edzoff. I prefer you to use Recuperate over the Doctors here, as Edzoff teams rely on AoE and spirits from yokai such as Negatibuss, Treater, and Mudmunch, so Edzoff can always hit for boosted damage, and since everyone's always going to be inspirited because of this, Recuperate is very helpful here, as he locks inspirited yokai in place. Both of these strategies can work though, and they make for very different teams, so use whichever you prefer. Finally, we have Poison Dragon. This is my favourite team archetype in the whole game, and it performs very well. Most Poison Dragon teams look identical. Dragon, Fukurukuju, 2 Carniboy, and one of the Doctors. The last yokai can really be anything, but the main 4 you're looking for are Mughal Sight at the Bone, Slip Up, and Static Hit. The team's goal is pretty simple. Make Dragon take as many physical attacks as possible and keep him alive with Fukurukuju. He wants to take physical attacks as he holds 2 Percussionist souls, which inspirit any yokai that hit him with a physical attack. Bad Medicine obviously makes this do more damage, and since Dragon has such high HP, and Spirit, and since Dragon has such high Spirit, the damage here is insane, and can even kill less bulky attackers outright. The Carniboys are here to make physical attacks much more likely for the opponent, so it can even fuck with magic attackers. This is a great, albeit RNG dependent way to deal with Pandora and Teducator teams, which are otherwise some of the strongest in the game. For your 6th slot, Mughal is there if you want Dragon's Spirit boosted. They also give a bit of extra healing and Strong's ultimate, as probably the most popular choice for Poison Dragon teams. Sight to the Bone adds a bit of extra offense to the team and can actually attack more consistently because of the Carniboys. His accuracy is pretty bad, but if he gets a hit off, it's really going to pierce a hole in the other team. Slip Up and Static Hit are my personal favourites to use here, as I can then put a Charge Soul on my Fukurukuju to get more revives for Dragon, and even do it while Horizontail's on the other team. The hazards also put quite a bit of pressure on the opponent. Whichever you use is up to personal preference, but I prefer Static Hit as his move timer is closer to Fuku and Dragons, so it's more in sync, and he can run Mateless Soul. I highly recommend trying this archetype out, you will enjoy it. Now this is all well and good, but there are some strange things about Bad Medicine that makes these teams even better, or weirder. First, Bad Medicine damage doesn't trigger suicide skills or soul gems. This essentially makes suicides on the opponent's team dead weight, unless your yokai gets bad RNG and kills them with their normal attacks. I have 2 teams that rely entirely on suicides to work, and most of my teams have at least one, so this is a super annoying thing to have to deal with. Bad Medicine also has an especially strange interaction with revival skills such as Hard Boiled. This doesn't always happen, but it has happened to me twice where my Phoenix gets killed by Bad Medicine damage and the revival skill triggers before he dies and heals 0 HP, essentially disabling the skill. I wish I had video evidence of this, but it's not really a consistent bug and I couldn't find any other cases of it. If any of you have ever experienced this or have video of it, please let me know in the comments. Knowing these two anomalies, there are probably even more bizarre interactions with the skill that I don't know about. If I missed anything, or if you have any unique and interesting teams using bad medicine, please drop them in the comments. The mysterious video is going to take a little more time in the oven, so I made this to tide you over until then. If you watched to the end, thank you. Drop me a sub if you haven't yet, I'd really appreciate it. Goodbye, and I'll see you when I see you.